Today is the 17th of July 2023, and we want to look at more percentage examples, precisely percentage increase and percentage decrease. Before I begin the lesson, at times, for instance, you have £60 and 40 pence. Okay, I might end up saying 60% or 60.4 or 60.04. Please follow the script. I've written it in the comments. Okay, when I finish, I watch the video over before I upload it. And at times, math is full of numbers, so at times you are trying to say something, but because you want to be a bit fast, you end up saying something or a shorter version of that. Okay, so please follow the script. Last lesson I gave you a way of using flashcards, of trying to change between decimals to percentage and fractions. I hope you've done your own flashcard that is suitable for you and put it in a prominent place where you can see often. Okay, if you don't need it, that's fine. But if you're working in a foundation level and you are a mom and you work, some of these things is a quick way of maybe during your break time, you can just have a look at it. Okay, we are going to have a quick revision or a starter or a warm-up. Okay, now I'm going to show you 3 different ways of doing this type of questions. Okay, it depends on if you have the calculator paper or non-calculator paper and how easy you are. Okay, and most of this we've done it before, but you need to apply them. Okay, so if, for instance, they ask you to find 10% of £60 and 40 pence, okay, you can quickly write 10 out of 100 times 60.40 pounds. Okay, as I told you before, you can divide by 1. So if you are using a calculator paper, you can find how many tens you have in 10, which is 1, how many tens you have in 110, and then you divide 60.40 over 10, okay, which will give you 6.04 pounds. So that is 10% of this figure. Also, if you've done it over and over again, you can easily see that you just have to move the decimal place 1 point and you get 6.4 pence. Okay, that is 10%. Now 50% for the second one is half of this figure, 60.40, which will give you £30 and 20 pence. Or you can just divide and get that. Okay, or it's 10% times 5. So you times this by 5 and get this figure. I hope I'm clear on that. Okay, now if they ask you to find 60%. You can just find 10%. You've already found 10% and you found 50%. So your answer will be £6 and 4 pence. Add £30 and 20 pence, which will give you here 36.24. You can do this without a calculator. Okay, I'm just showing you how you can work things out on a non-calculator paper. Now, assuming they ask you to find 70%, you already know what 10% is, and you've done 60%, but you don't know what 20% is. So the approach you can use here is to 60 add 10. So you've already done 60 in the previous one. Add 10% and you already have 10% here. Okay, so when you add them, you get that. Or you multiply 10 by 7. Okay, and whatever figure you get, you add it and you will get that. Okay, that is 70%. I hope I haven't lost you. Now, if they ask you to find 5% of £60 40 pence, you've already found £10. Okay, so which is this? So 5% will be half of £6 and 4 pence, which is £3 and 2 pence. Okay, so this is what a half of 10% will give you your £5. Now, if they ask you to find 75%, okay, you already know £70 from this one, which is this figure, and you already know 5%, which is what we just did. So £75 will be 70 at 50%. So it will be 42.28 add £3 and 2 pence. And you can add them straight on, which will give you 45.30. Or if it's a calculator paper, you put these figures in and get your £45.30. Okay. Now, assuming they ask you to find 25% of 60.4, you already know 50%, which is half of this value. So you have whatever you get from this, which will be £15 and 10 pence, which I've written here. Or I think that would be the easiest one. Or you multiply. We said in one of our videos that 25% is 0.25 times 6.25 in decimal. So you multiply 0.25 times 60.4, which will also give you that. I'm just trying to give you different options. We've done all this. Okay. Now, 85% of £60 40 pence, you can add £60 and £25. Now we did £60, which is 36.24, and then we did £25, which is £15 10 pence. When you add them, it is 51.34. Okay, we are just trying to revise. Okay, so what I'm showing you is, if you can get £10 or £50 or £5, you can make a lot of this other percentage: 70, 75, 25, 85, 95. Okay, now this is our warm up. Okay, so assuming you are working without a calculator. Okay, so with that in mind, we want to look at percentage increase or percentage decrease. Okay, if we are asked to find percentage decrease, whatever value we get, we finally subtract. If we ask to find percentage increase, whatever we find for the increase in percentage, the value we add. Okay, so let's quickly look at an example with what I've just explained in mind. Okay, so from everything we've done, we realize that with a calculator or without a calculator, we can solve these questions. Okay, so whether it's in a calculator paper or without a calculator, you shouldn't be stranded, and they won't give you difficult numbers without a calculator paper. It will be things you can do on top of your head. So for instance, let's look at this example. Find the percentage increase, okay, of 150 by 15%. Okay, so they want you to increase 150 pounds by 15%. Okay, now here, if you are working with the calculator, straight away you can do 0. We said 15% is 15 out of 100. So if you want to use the power of 10, 15% like this is the same as 0.15 as a decimal. So you can use 0.15, multiply this number on the calculator, and then whatever you get, you add it back to 150. That will be your percentage increase value. Okay, now assuming you didn't have a calculator, so first of all, I will find 10%, which is straightforward. 10% of 150 will be £1.50, is 15 pounds. Okay, it's like dividing 150 pounds into 10 portions. Okay, that is what it means. So that will be 15 pounds. Okay, or you can do this 10 over 100 times 15 pounds, and it will still give you 15 pounds. So you found 10%. Now 5% will be half of that. So half of 15 pounds is £7.50. Now, if you add 10% to 5%, okay, which is 15 pounds, add £7.50, you are going to get 22.50. That is 15 pounds of 150 pounds. That is 15% of 115 pounds. Okay, so if you are increasing, it means you should add. You are increasing the value of £1.50 by 15%. That's what it means. So your £22.50, you add it to £1.50, which you can do on top of your head without a calculator, which will give you £172.50. Okay. Now, assuming they ask you to find percentage decrease or by 15%, the same question, but not increase, decrease, then you subtract. So 150 minus £22 50 pence, which will give you £127 50 pence. You can also do this on top of your head. Okay, so when it's increase, we add. When it's decrease, we subtract. The answer will be in pounds because we are trying to find the percentage increase and decrease in pounds. Our second example here is increase 630 grams of flour by 28%. Okay, don't be scared by this kind of numbers. So if it is a calculator paper, you can do 0.28. This 28% over 100, okay, will be 0.28. Okay, so you can use this decimal 0.28 multiply by 630 grams, and that will be your value that you will add if you are increasing, or subtract if you are decreasing. But assuming you don't understand this concept, okay, 28%. So first of all, another method is you can find 1% of this value, which is easy to do. So 1% here is 0.01 or 1 over 100 times 630 grams of flour, which will give you 6.30 grams. Okay, now this is 1%. You want 28%, so you times 1% times 28. So 1% times 28 will give you the 28% you require. Okay, so 630 times 28, that is if you have a calculator, and now you get a value of 176.4 grams of flour. The question says increase 630 grams of flour by 28%. You know the 28% value, so now you add 176.4 grams of flour to 630 grams. When you add them, you get 806.4 grams of flour. Okay, now the same question, assuming they ask you to decrease it, you've already found the 28% using the 1%, and then you multiply it by 28. So now 630 grams minus, because you are decreasing, okay, 176.4 grams, which will give you 453.6 grams of flour. Okay, so far I'm showing you different ways of solving this type of questions. Okay, maybe one might be easier for you than the other, but if it's a calculator paper, then you can easily do it. But assuming you don't have a calculator and you have to do it on top of your head under exam conditions, that's why I'm showing you the 3 ways, or the ways that you can easily get your answer. Okay, now another example here. Increase 561 kilograms by 46%. maybe kilograms of a weight. We don't know what it is. Okay, now 46% here, you can use 46%. It's 4.6 out of 100, which is 0.46. You can change it into decimal. Okay, so 0.46 of 561 on the calculator, okay, will give you 258.06 kilograms. But this is 46%. So now to increase 561 kilograms by 46%, okay, you have to add 561 kilograms. You add it to what you got, 258.06 kilograms, which would be 819.06 kilograms. The same question, decrease 561 kilograms by 46%. Now look at 46%. It's close to 50%. Okay, so you should be getting an answer almost half of this. And 258.06 kilograms made a lot of sense here. Okay, so we've already found the 46%, but this time we are supposed to decrease it. So 561 kilograms minus 258.06 kilograms. So here we can subtract if it's a calculator paper. But if it's not calculator, we can still do the subtraction on the side of the paper, and that will give us 302.94 kilograms. Okay, so I've shown you how to do this kind of questions with the way we started. So if you are not sure, you can do 1%, multiply by 46, okay, and then the value of 1%, multiply by 46. Whether the question is asking you to add, increase, you add. If it's asking you to decrease, you subtract from the value they've given you. Okay. Another one is, if they give you like 75%, you can halve it, which is 50%, and then halve the 50%, which is half of 50. Add them together. Whether it's increase or decrease, you increase by adding, and then you decrease by subtracting. Another method is, okay, as we found earlier, you can do the 0 point straight away. If they ask you to find 26% over 100, so you do 26 out of 100, change it to the decimal, which is 0.26. Multiply by the figure you've given, and then you add or you subtract, whether it's increase or decrease. Okay, go back and watch this video. Go back and watch this video and try to understand and choose which one is good for you. If you know all the three, it's good, because if it's a non-calculator paper, then you can easily use the first method, what we did in the starter version, to solve. Okay, and they will give you numbers in a non-calculator paper that you can easily add, so you won't be stranded. If it's a non-calculator paper too, then your skill of changing percentages into decimals will be very useful here. Okay, so whichever question is thrown at you on this type of questions, you should be able to answer them. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next lesson.